in every Kenyan's mouth, the word of the each and every day, it's all about politics. May it be the local politics, international politics, or generally anything to do with politics. Over the recent few months, it's all about being politics. We have been having the Kibra by-election, Ganze by-election, and we have seen politicians engage in fist fights to dangle each other. And today I'm privileged to host some few young politicians, and we are going to look into matters politics. My name is Gibson Mwangi, a political analyst, and I'm going to let my panel introduce themselves.
Thank you very much. I'm Gilbert Nalwa. I'm the immediate former president of the University of Nairobi. Thank you.
That's Mr. Nalwa, one of the panelists.
Thank you very much, Gibson, for the invitation. I'm Benson Mwangi, a political analyst.
Oh, so that's going to be my panel for the day. And I'm going to start by asking them about the BBI report. To begin, have you guys heard about the BBI report?
Thank you. I've heard about the Building Bridges Initiative report, and I have also got an opportunity to go through it.
That's so nice. And now that you have got the chance to read all about it, are you into it or into support of it?
I think at some point I'm supporting the proposals in the BBI report. There are some of the proposals that are good proposals to put this country at task and at hand. Just when we have matters doing with security and unity, we have some very key things that I think personally I'm supporting that BBI report.
So it's clear that one of the analysts give us what about you?
The BBI report is very good, right? But then there are some loopholes in the reports that needs to be addressed for it to cater for the Kenyan needs. For example, you cannot be saying that you are building bridges whereas breaking some. If you can remember when we are being released that report, we had one of our leaders being heckled. That showed that the BBI is not just about the Kenyan, it's about those guys at the top and having the seats.
That according to him, isn't it will be delayed. We see from the report, but according to him, there needs to be some improvements. So now that both of them are in for the BBI, it has been argued that the BBI should go to Parliament or it should go forward so that it can have a referendum so that people can vote. So should they have a referendum or should be taken to Parliament? Now that it is argued that the referendum will cost a lot of cash.
Yeah, I think Gibson, the first thing that we should do as Kenyans is to also get an opportunity to go through the report and get to critically analyze what the report is all about. I think from where I sit, from what I've seen from that report, first I would just like to comment on very few things and highlight. The first one is the issue of governance devolution. When we talk of the county leadership, the BBI stipulates that there should be that gender balance, such that if the governor is male, then the deputy governor should be female. If the governor is female, then the deputy has to be, and it's a mandatory that has to be a male. So it is the opposite, vice versa. So I think that is one thing that to me I feel like it is good. It is at least coming to ensure that there is gender balance when it comes to matters devolution and county leadership. Then secondly, there is an issue of the revenue allocation. whereby the revenue allocation to the counties has been improved from 15% to 35%, which according to me, I think that is quite good, because now it's like now there will be improved funds that will be allocated to the counties, and that simply means that people will have a quick access to these funds. There is also an issue of the member of county assemblies having their bursaries, having their, like, the CDF. So that simply means that now even that the common Wanjiku, the lowest citizen at the ground, will get an opportunity to get bursaries from their member of county assembly. Then when it comes to matters top leadership, we've had the position of the prime minister that has been generated. Yeah, I think to me it is good, but I think we have to look at it further and make some more amendments, because that position of the prime minister, the way it has been put to be they say the prime minister will be nominated by the president. He will come from the majority party, and he will be approved by the members of parliament. So I think it's just like a ceremonial prime minister, but not an executive prime minister who will have powers per se. But I think it is something good that is going to bring in a bit of balances and peace, because as a country we have been divided all along after each and every election. Then there is also the position of the official opposition leader, whereby the second runners-up will take that position of the opposition leader, and even former parliament. So I think it is something that we should go through it critically as Kenyans, and make a decision of whether to go for it or not for it, because it is not a law yet. It's just a proposal that has come by through the committee. So I think, talking of the referendum and the parliament, I think these are just minor proposals. Yes, there is no problem when it gets back to the people to decide, but then at the moment, as per now, I don't think that referendum will do it better. I think as a country we are jumping up and down. The economy is still shaking. We are not stable. To say we don't have finances, even at the different ministries. So I think let us just postpone this issue of referendum and go the parliamentary way. Let's just go to the parliament and pass it or reject it to the
And
parliament.
do you see it going to parliament now that the speaker said that the bill won't even get to parliament?
That is another fear that we are having as citizens, simply because the parliament, the house itself, it's not in unity. Members of parliament are divided. The speaker himself also feels like this BBI report should not get into parliament. So I think that is why citizens are having fear that members of parliament could shun this report down.
I think, my friend, for the BBI reports, it should come back to the common mwananchi, because this is a common mwananchi report, not the parliamentary ones. This is not a bill. This is just a result of consultations with the common mwananchi. We also have some contentious issues to do with the allocation of funds. That's contentious. We cannot be taking it to some MPs to pass it on behalf of us. Not that we don't believe in them, but issues to do with power and economics. Those are so contentious in any society. So let it just go to the common mwananchi, and he will just see if the findings of the report are good or bad.
Yeah, now you can see that there is division. There are those that have, for it to come to the local mwananchi to decide, and there are those who are doing for it to go to parliament for the person. Now, away from the BBI report, now that everyone has got the chance to read about it. During the BBI report, we witnessed it's not a national thing, it's for the opposition side, for the team handshake. So, now that there is that division, what should politicians do to ensure that next time, in case of such a report is about to be released, that there is that unity? How should politicians be?
Okay, I think that all leaders have a responsibility to ensure that their people are always united and speak one common language. So I think if you are keenly following the events and the process of this report, even when the chairman of the committee, Yusuf Haji, say that the report is ready to be handed over to the president, I think we saw many leaders coming out on different platforms saying that the BBI report is going to be a blow, it's going to be a tsunami, it's going to be what. Some already were rejecting it. So I think that is what generated a lot of this anxiety. And probably during that day when the president was launching it, we could not expect something different from what happened, because already these leaders from the different political divide had geared up themselves and were ready for anything. You know, the majority leader of the party, the Senate and the National Assembly had their mind. Even the deputy president had his stand about the same. He has got leaders who are allied to him. So I think it is for next time. I think let us just be mature as political leaders and understand that we run this country, we run people, we lead people, and we at some point we even carry the emotions of these people. What you talk on platform, on a political platform, dictates how people will react and how people will carry around themselves. So I think it is just upon their responsibility to ensure that they at least they try to make sure that their people are together, speaking one language, more specifically when it comes to such serious matters that may affect the country at large.
This is a call from one of the panelists, that's Mr. Nado, former student leader, University of Nairobi, to all politicians to always act somehow mature when it comes to handling matters to do with politics. Now let us hear what Mr. Mwangi has to say.
I think for me, inclusivity in the planning is key. If you follow the proceedings of the release of the report, there was so much skipping out of some key people in the planning for the day. When you see like Mr. Mike Sonko, coming out and lamenting that, oh, you left me out in the welcoming of the guests. He was the one who was to welcome the guests if the real procedure was to be followed, but he never did this. Second, our leaders are the main opinion leaders in the country. Seeing those divisions in the limelight may cause divisions to the common monarchy. So let us just portray that image of being together, and this will just be guaranteed.
Yeah, according to Mr. Mwangi, there should be that inclusivity. All should be involved in the planning and doing of audience. So, to do away with BBI, let us come to 2022 politics. According to the CS, the cabinet secretaries, be more into matters to do with politics, and they should just for the local commandants. Now that the other day we saw CS Matiang'i going to Kirinyaga, to Adaka, and some politicians have come out asking him to stop being shames. What do you have to say about it?
Matiang'i being included in active politics is just like the act of fattening a sheep for Christmas. Matiang'i is a public servant, not a politician. And being a public servant and entering into this politics may have some long-term effects on him, because he doesn't know what can happen between now, 2022, and after 2022. He might be just committing his suicide. That is employment suicide.
Yeah, so according to Mr. Mwangi, Matiang'i should be more focused on serving the people and shunned away from matters to do with politics. And what, Mr. Naldo, what do you have to say?
Yeah, I think the constitution is something very supreme, and no one should be above the law. and no one should try to go against the constitution. So I think the promulgated constitution of 2010 states that cabinet secretaries should not be involved in politics. Cabinet secretaries are appointed by the president, and they are appointed to serve citizens. So I believe that the all cabinet, not only the CS for interior alone, but even these other CSs, we have seen them in political rallies, advocate and talk politics. What I feel is they should not do that. That is strictly against the constitution. They should stick to their terms of service and serve citizens. But again, when you try to compare the same with the new report of BBI, the BBI says that now we are going to replace the CSs with ministers, and the ministers are going to come from parliament, which simply means that now the ministers are going to be politicians. So I think we are just still shaking and really don't have a base to base on.
From the two panelists, it's better for all people, most over the cabinet secretaries and the politicians, for now to shun away from active politics and work for the people. That was our today's discussion. Till next time, God bless.